Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2019 album review. And this is an album that I wasn't sure if I was going to like or not, but I was, yeah. Anyway, as you can see below the title, today we're going to be looking into the new album from the band In Flames entitled I the Mask, which came out today through Nuclear Blast Records. Now, In Flames definitely doesn't need an introduction. They're one of the whole bands from the whole Swedish melodic death metal movement, hailing all the way from Gothenburg, Sweden. These guys have been around since 1990, and I actually liked some of In Flames. Well, mostly like their older stuff, like the Jester Race, which in my opinion is still their best album, and Horkel. Well, like their first 5 albums being from Lunar Strain, Jester Race, Horkel, Colony, and Clayman were all straight up mellow death. But it wasn't until Reroute to Remain, their 6th album, which was released in 2002, where they kind of went with more of an alternative metal sound, but still had that mellow death stuff, but they also incorporated like clean vocals and stuff. And then these guys have been around, like I said, since 1990, gone through some lineup changes, different bass players, different drummers. It wasn't until like 2010 when the only original member that was left in the band was guitarist Jesper Stromblad, had left the band and then was replaced by Nicholas Eglin, who had played on 2011's Sounds of a Playground Fading, which I thought was, in my opinion, was their last good album, because their other 2 albums after that were just, or just didn't really care for that much. And then after that, they had some more lineup changes after Peter Iwers, their bass player, left, and their drummer Daniel Svensson, I believe that's his name, left. And this is the first album with the 2 new members being bass player Bryce Paul and drummer Tanner Wayne. And they pretty much filled in those gaps that Peter and Daniel have. And like I said, this album is the follow-up to their previous album in 2016, which was Battles, which I honestly didn't care for. But I heard some hype like with this album, like it's kind of like sounding like stuff from Colony or Clayman and stuff. And I was like, maybe I should check this out. And I heard, I believe, the one first single, and I was like, damn, what's this? I actually like the new In Flames album songs. And then the album dropped, and let's hoping that I would like it. And does this album live up to its expectations? And honestly, I think it does. Like, I feel like this is kind of like a return to form for In Flames after like their last 2 albums being just garbage. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is sort of like retains sort of like the old-ish In Flames style from like the late 90s, like Colony and Clayman. And but also had some different stuff like electronic-y kind of sampling and stuff. That's just stuff, and the production is pretty good. Like, you could definitely feel like it's stepped up definitely from the last couple albums. The vocal work. Let's talk about the vocal work from Anders Frieden. Anders' vocals, like, he does like a lot of those harsh like screams and yells that he does, and almost kind of like growling death growls that he does. And like his clean singing, I feel like has definitely shines a lot on this album, and he definitely feel like has improved a lot as a vocalist. Guitar wise, Bjorn Giolitz and Nicholas Englin's guitar playing is pretty much the most forefront on this album compared to like previous albums. It's definitely like just like up there in your face. And they really just shine on this album. Bass playing wise, the bass is pretty damn audible. You could definitely hear it from the new member Bryce Paul. And drumming wise, first album with a new drummer, Tanner Wayne, who replaced their previous drummer Joe Rickard, who was only on their one album, Battles. Tanner does a really good job playing the drums on this song. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now the album opens up with the song Voices, which is, in my opinion, a definite return of form. The music feel like it hasn't lost its edge, maybe just wandered down a slightly different path. And the clarity of the production that you expect from the band has honed in their skill for pretty much almost 3 decades. And this is a good, honest set of tunes that will only stabilize In Flames' worldwide popularity. And I feel like they pretty much got their mojo back on this song. Then we go into the title track, I the Mask, which is a very immediate track. It explodes on your ears instantly with brutal intensity and is certainly one of my favorites on the album. And with this kind of form that the band seemingly had discovered a new vitality to their music. And the overall picture is that In Flames do not want to be pigeonholed into any particular genre. That is a culmination of all their best music they can offer. Call My Name has the much ballsier sound that In Flames are more than capable of delivering, but contains like subtle nods to like their past sounds that add like a layer of nostalgia for the older fans to the album. And the sound of style might be shifting, but it's great to see that they haven't lost their touch of identity. Um, I Am Above, which showcases sort of like Anders displaying sort of like a full range of throat and lungs and also delivering a wailing guitar solo that makes the hairs on the back of the neck stand to attention. Um, then we go into Follow Me, which the acoustic guitar played throughout the song adds further depth to the album, and it's absolutely beautiful, especially like near the beginning of the song. And lyrically, compared to like the rest of the album, it's although simplistic, it's probably the most catchy of the album that the album has pretty much shown so far. Um, this Is Our House, which this pretty much has been mixed with has like different like mixed feelings with the song. Does it has some flaws? Sure. Is it a bad track? Eh. It has some really patched with some catchy hooks and serve balls enough to keep you listening to start to finish. It sort of like some starts with some really great chants of the band members throughout the track. And it can sure to get the live crowd kicking up to the frenzy. See, We Will Remember, which brings you firmly back to reality that In Flames is capable of spinning some absolutely magical music. Say goodbye to sort of like the growling vocal set because Anders does this one completely just clean vocals and is nothing but brilliant. This track will serve as an anthem for the band for years to come. In This Life further cements this notion as while the guitar set might sound a little bit quirky and the tempo might be dialed back slightly to what we're used to. The softer vocal arrangement is definitely one that shows like Anders' talents. I said they're complemented perfectly by a masterful instrumental set, and there's no denying that this band's ability, whether you enjoy the stylistic shift or not, these guys are a real deal. Burn, which demonstrates that In Flames haven't lost touch with their identity, and whilst they're sort of like undergoing stylistic change, this track embodies their personality perfectly. It demonstrates both vocal sets from freed and sort of like clean vocals and harsh vocals, while the familiar In Flames instrumental support, while containing enough subtle nod to say that it's definitely a track that highlights progression. Next song on here is Deep Inside, which showcases the balance of a softer, somber performance while highlights Anders' tones more so, against sort of like the most boisterous, overzealous performance where the instrumentals take control of the wheel and the listener for the ride of their lives. And there isn't many that can pull this balance off smoothly as sort of In Flames has done, which again further solidifies that they're while they are so highly regarded not only by their fans but they're also their peers as well. All the Pain still has enough edge and artistry to demonstrate the versatility of In Flames sounds. Stay With Me, which pretty much ends the album, which is the softest performance on the album, which kind of weird that it's the last song on here. And Anders is accompanied by a soothing acoustic arrangement for the most part before there's break onto scene and brings the album's end with a crescendo of musical brilliance. Now overall, The Mask by In Flames is a pretty surprisingly I kind of like it. Again, I was kind of after their last two albums I didn't really care for, but damn, this album actually was pretty good. So if I have to give this album a score, I'm definitely going to give this probably an 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the new In Flames, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.